I appreciate you clicking on the help video. So let me assist you in answering this question similar to the one that you have on the homework. So we were still talking about transformations, specifically translation, sliding objects left and right, function specifically. And instead of a graph, we're given a table of values of that function. So here we have the function f of x is defined by these points here. So this is going to connect these points and create some function. Or maybe it's a parent function, a cubic function, a square root function, whatever the case is. But we only have specific points of that function. Now, we're asked to use this table to obtain the table of g of x for part A, and the same thing with part B, where g in part A is going to be the function of f of x minus 3, and for part B, g of x is defined as f of x plus 3, where that plus 3 and minus 3 are inside the parentheses. So this one here, as you can clearly see, is affecting the x values because we're doing something specifically to the x minus 3, which is a horizontal translation. Now, normally we would think, well, it's x minus 3, so we would just have to subtract 3 from the x values. But unfortunately, that is not how horizontal translation works. It's actually the opposite. This notation of x minus 3 actually does the opposite and adds 3 to the x values. So let me highlight this in blue. So this, for part A, is actually going to do x plus 3, the opposite. So our y values are not going to change. We're going to end up with the same y values for both tables, actually. But for part A, the x values are going to change because they're going to increase by 3, since we need to move this entire function 3 units to the right. So to do that, we're going to add 3 to all these x values. So negative 8 plus 3, that equals to negative 5. Negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. 0 plus 3 is obviously 3. And 9 plus 3 is 12. So this is the table for for G in part A. So if that's the case for part A, well then for part B, this notation is not going to move it in a positive direction. It's going to, as a result, move it in a negative direction, meaning that our x values are being subtracted by 3. So again, because there's no vertical shift, our y values are going to stay the same, just like again on the previous one on part A. These stay the same because we're not adding or subtracting anything outside these parentheses, again affecting the y values. So obviously that's again the reason why these stay the same. But because we're now adding 3, we're going to move in the opposite direction and move to the left by 3 units, like I mentioned, and subtract 3 to all of these x values. So just subtracting 3 to everything, you're going to end up with the following. So negative 8 minus 3 is negative 11, negative 10, negative 9, negative 3, and positive 6. So there is your table for G for part A and the table of G for part B. Hopefully this video will help on a problem similar again to your homework.